Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new here and you don't know who I am, my name is Olwethu, aka Shagalulu _ on the social medias. And this is the psychology of everything, where we talk all things life from a psychological perspective. So if you do want to join us, all you have to do is hit that subscribe button right down here and you become a part of the family instantly. So yeah, let's get into the video. So for all my subscribers who know me already, you would have noticed that I have been gone for quite a while. I'm so sorry, but yeah, I had to, unfortunately. It was so difficult picking up a camera and creating content. It was quite hard. I think it's the fatigue. If you haven't seen my video about emotional fatigue, then I'll add it in the cards right now. Yeah, I've just been going through that, and I just feel like, yeah, I'm just thinking about how I can like regroup and rethink the way that I create content and videos. So yeah, I think that I will save that for 2021, and I'm back for my last and final video of 2020. And as you can see by the title, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the things that 2020 has taught me. Yeah, it's been a rough year. I can guarantee you that this year has sucked for every single person on this earth. And unfortunately, I believe that some of the biggest lessons that you learn in life come from the most difficult times. And that's when we really learn things. Not just about the world, but about ourselves as well. And that's some of the things that I'll be sharing with you. So, like I said, don't forget to subscribe. And let's get on to the video. So the first lesson that I learned this year was, and I think everybody, was resilience and building up your resilience, especially during a crisis. So it's really hard to like bounce back after going through something hectic, and I feel like we haven't really bounced back yet, obviously, because it just seems like there's no hope, and COVID-19 is just here for a long time and a good time. And yeah, it just feels like we're just still in the same place we were 6 months ago. But I do think that it has taught us for other situations to build up resilience and to bounce back from difficult situations. Yeah, so that's one of the lessons that 2020 has taught me, and I'm sure you as well. And then the second thing that 2020 has taught me is that you create your own happiness. Ubumnandi uyazenzela, injabulo uyazenzela. That's the one thing that actually lockdown has taught me. You know, I think lockdown for a lot of us it forced us to just pause and to look into ourselves and into our lives. And I don't know, like before, I was the type of person that depended on other people for my own happiness. And unfortunately, when you do that, expectations are created, and we all know sometimes people don't meet those expectations, and then we become disappointed. So you have to just create your own happiness, and you create expectations you're gonna meet, and yeah, just create your own happiness, period. And then the third lesson that this year has taught me is that you need to faithfully serve the season that you find yourself in, every season that you find yourself in. Even if it's not the greatest, not the brightest season, it is important to stay faithful, stay hopeful, and have faith that there will be better times coming. And I do believe that sucky situations or crappy situations really do prepare you for bigger and better things to come for you. So it's important that you serve that season as well and not just let it pass by. The fourth lesson is that your health, both physical and mental, spiritual, whatever, matters more than anything else, because your health is your wealth. And I mean, if one thing COVID has taught us is that your health really does matter, and you need to take care of yourself, and you just need to stay safe. Don't forget to sanitize. Don't forget to wear your masks. And unless you want to learn the hard way, which a lot of us have. But yeah, your health really does matter, and you need to take care of yourself, because if you can't do that, then you can't take care of anybody else or anything else in your life. And then the fifth lesson that I've learned is that human connection is so important, more than we think, and we need it more than we think. If you think about it, like during lockdown, so many of us depended on social media to connect to each other, because obviously we couldn't see or visit each other. And I do believe that human connection is what's needed, or one of the things that's needed in order for us to survive in this world. I've always said in so many of my videos that you can't do this life thing alone, and one thing lockdown has taught me is that is actually true. You really, really can't. And thank God for social media. We were able to connect, and even though it wasn't the same, but imagine this was 1914, where there's no WhatsApp, there's no house party or Zoom, so yeah. And then the sixth lesson that 2020 has taught me, and especially this is very, very personal to me, is that you need to start focusing more on shorter term goals than longer term goals. Hear me out. Now, of course, you need the bigger picture. You need to have your long term goals and what you want to achieve in the next 10 years or 5 years. But I do think that it's important to also figure out how you're going to get there. You can't go from 0 to 100 straight. Shorter term goals is more like, going from 0 to 10 to 20 to 30 and so on and so on. So I realized that if you only focus on long-term goal, or like the bigger picture, it's going to intimidate you, and it's going to be very overwhelming for you, because you won't know how to get there. But just focus on shorter term goals that will help you get to the bigger picture or the biggest goal. And I think that will make your planning a lot more easier. And that's what I'm trying to instill right now in my life. And so far, so good. I wish I had done this like 2 years ago. I probably would be at a higher place in my life. And yeah. But we move, we learn. And like I said, maybe it took this huge event this year for me to realize that and to actually implement that. So yeah, it is what it is. And with that being said, the seventh, I think, lesson is that you need to be intentional about your actions, and you need to be conscious about your decisions as well. I realized that, just doing things just for the sake of it is never going to benefit you. You need to always be intentional about everything that you do, so that you can always be held accountable for your actions, and not just be like, nah, it is what it is. And I think that it takes a lot of growth, maturity, and yeah, just like learning more about yourself, your fears, your like what contributes to who you are, in order to like be conscious of your decisions. And yeah, and I think if you are, it'll make life so much easier, and you'll reach your goals a whole lot more better and faster that way. And then the next lesson that I learned this year is that failure is an event, not a person. I think that was one of the biggest ones that I had to learn. I'm having to learn now, especially because I obviously applied for my master's in clinical psychology, and unfortunately I didn't get accepted for 2021. So obviously that put me down and made me feel like I'm just failing, and maybe it's not meant to be, and I'm a failure. So I had to learn that it doesn't define who I am. It's just an event that happened, and it doesn't mean that I'll never get there. It's just not my time. Literally, it's just not my time. And I'll just keep pushing, and I'll keep, working on the shorter term goals in order to get to that. And yeah, it's just, yeah, man, failure isn't a person. And I want you to understand that no matter what you're going through, if you didn't get accepted somewhere, or if you didn't get that job, it doesn't make you less of a person, or it doesn't make you less of like, it doesn't make you less qualified to get it. It's just maybe not your time, and it'll all make sense one day. And then the 9th lesson that I learned is that, which is in line with the failure not being a person but an event, is that waiting season doesn't have to be a wasted one. This basically means that just because I didn't get accepted for next year, what can I do to better my chances for the next time I apply again? And yeah, it doesn't mean that I just have to wait and cry about it or fold my arms and just hope that it will come to me one day. And yeah, unfortunately, you have to take those actions. Otherwise, you're gonna find yourself in the same position in a year or in 2 years. You have to be proactive. Otherwise, you're just gonna let things slide, and it's very easy to get into that dark hole, if I can call it that. And then the 10th and last lesson that 2020 has taught me. Actually, I wanted to do 20 lessons, but I was like, oh, that's a bit much. So I kept it at 10. So the last lesson that I learned is that it is not about perfection, but it's about progression. And that's something that over the years I had to learn, you know. I think we always, especially like our generation, we always want to be perfect, whether it's our body image or our social status or our careers or, you know, school. I think that we always strive to be perfect, and unfortunately that doesn't really exist. Perfection does not exist, and the sooner you realize that, the better. And yeah, like, it's all about how far you've progressed. And if you look at yourself and you think like, am I the same person I was a year ago or 2 years ago? And if the answer is no, then you're on the right track. You're on the right track because, like I said, perfection doesn't exist, and it's all about how better you become at what you do. And yeah, and also being satisfied and content as well, and knowing that I can't be perfect. I'm doing the best that I can, and I'm happy with it, you know, and I can do better, but I'm happy where I am right now, and I will continue. So yeah, guys, those are the 10 lessons that this terrible year has taught me. And yeah, I'm really grateful for what I've learned. You know, I think this year has been the one year where I've grown so much. Like, in a space of 1 year or like 10 months, I've grown so much. I'm not the same person I was a year ago. Year ago, I would have never started a YouTube channel. I would have never been so comfortable speaking in front of a camera and been so confident in, you know, releasing videos and being happy with what I come up with. So yeah, it's important to also acknowledge that growth that you have gone through and not criticize yourself, you know. Don't be too hard on yourself. And yeah, guys, I hope to see you in 2021. Okay, it's only, technically 2021 is only 2 weeks away, so I definitely won't be gone for long. And who knows, I might have a new look next year. I might have, you know, more different content. So please stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe. And if you're new, all you have to do is catch up to my videos so that next year we come back with a bang and we get to know each other a little bit more. And I would love to hear your suggestions for next year in terms of what you guys want from me, what you want me to speak about, and what kind of content you'd like to see. And yeah, let's keep growing. And by the way, I finally reached 200 subscribers. Yes. Thank you so much to everyone that has subscribed. I love you guys so much. Thank you for believing in me, and I hope that we do grow even more next year. I think we will. So yeah, guys, I will see you in my next video next year.